Hello, everyone, and welcome to Adobe Live. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm your host, Izzy, brand designer from Ottawa, Canada, and I am here with the lovely Mariah. Mariah is a graphic designer and educator tuning in from St. Louis, Missouri. How are you today, Mariah?
I'm good. I'm so excited to be here.
We are
Um,
so lucky to have you with us.
Thanks. Yeah, I can't wait to knock out some social media templates and graphics with y'all.
That's it. You beat me to the punch. Today, we will be working in Adobe Illustrator and Adobe Express Beta. And Mariah will be showing us some tips and tricks on how to elevate your social media game, which is so needed right now because everything seems to be happening on social media.
Yeah.
Hi to everyone in the chat. Let us know where you are tuning in from. And while your answer keeps rolling in, if you haven't already, please, gentle reminder to subscribe to the Adobe Live community on the YouTube channel and follow us on Adobe Live on Instagram for the latest stream and stay up to date with all the amazing stuff that's happening here. Okay, the moment we have all been waiting for. Mariah, take the
Yeah.
stage, introduce yourself, and
Yes.
yeah.
Sounds great. Hi, friends. My name is Mariah Althoff. I am a graphic design teacher and freelance mentor. As Izzy said, I'm in St. Louis, Missouri. And overall, people really find my story inspiring because I was a design school reject turned six-figure freelancer. So I don't have a degree in this. I taught myself and have been able to build a full career around it. And since I have helped over 200 creatives turn graphic design into their full-time careers through my program called Ditch the Degree Design School, as well as one-on-one mentorship. So I am super excited to be here today. Is my screen sharing already and stuff?
Yes, you're all good. Wait, hold
Amazing.
on. Now it is perfect.
Okay, perfect. So real quick, you guys can find me online at mariahaltoff.com or on Instagram and TikTok at Mariah_Althoff. Now, speaking of social media, today we are rebranding my social media because this is the
Ooh.
before. It's a hot mess express. None of it, there's no rhyme or reason. And I really like pretty things, as all of you do. I want my social media to be really well branded to match everything else that I put on the internet. So that's what we're working on today. Not only is this like super applicable to your own social media graphics, but it's also really great for if you have clients that need social media graphics and specifically social media templates. So we're going to be talking about how to design everything you love in Adobe Illustrator, which is my favorite platform, but then bring it into Express so that it's really user-friendly for everyone. So I already have my brand established. Here's the color palette we're working with today. Lots of pinks and oranges and yellows. It's really fun and happy. The overall fonts and typography we're using, already have that figured out. And then here's just like a few clips from my website so you get an overall look and feel for what my brand looks like. It's really important to me that it feels really fun and approachable. I mostly teach beginners, either beginner designers, creatives, or like early freelancers. So I want to make sure that people feel really comfortable with me, and I want to make sure my branding matches that. So this is the overall aesthetic we're going for. And here's some just general considerations for this project. I want to make sure that we are creating reel covers, some Instagram story backgrounds so that I can just like put type up on an Instagram story when I'm like not trying to be on camera. A carousel post template, and then a static post template. Some things that I want to make sure that we are doing as we're designing is that these designs are really easy to swap out photos. Like the designs need to be pretty simple so that they are easy to just like tweak and edit as often as needed. Really easy to replace text. And I just want to have several color variations so that it feels fun and different on the feed, but still has like a really easy to use template process. So that's the general overview. So I'm just going to get right into it.
So as you're doing this, let's say hi to a few folks in the chat. So we have Oliver saying hi. Hi, Oliver is from the UK. We have Yesenia, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, from New Orleans. We have Diego from Mexico. If I go here on YouTube, we have Danielle from Mexico as well. We have Regina from Pennsylvania. So pretty much we have a lot of viewers from all over. This is great.
Hi, friends. Welcome. Awesome. All right. Am I ready to dive in?
Do your thing. This is your time to shine.
Cool. All right. So I've already gone ahead and set up artboards just to make this part quick and easy. That's not super fun to watch. So I have it set up so that I have like 3 artboards for some real cover graphics. We've got 3 artboards for Instagram story templates, a couple static posts, and then a carousel post. So let's just get started with the real cover graphics because that's what I'm going to use the most often. To start with, I want to we're going to add this like wavy line thing that I tend to bring through all of my graphics in some capacity, which we're just going to start with a straight line because while I could use the pen tool to make a wavy line, it's just going to make it way more uniform if I just use a straight line and go from there. So we are going to have it selected and we are going to go to Effect, Distort and Transform, and we're going to choose Zigzag. Now you'll see this preview box is checked so we can actually see what this is doing in here. I am going to do maybe 45 pixels for the like peaks and valleys of the zigzag. And then if we choose smooth, it's going to make it this curvy line. We can keep it at 4 for now because we're going to edit it. Now you'll see I just tried to stretch it out and it just stretches it long ways. We're going to undo that. And instead, we are going to align the stroke. And sort of just place this where I want it. Let's see. I can literally hear one of my cats in the background that's shut away. He's just meowing.
He wants to be on the live stream.
Yeah, he's really mad.
It's like, I want to shine too.
Yes. It's like, hello, this is my moment. Oh man. Oh wait, that's too many. We're just going to get rid of a few of these points. And let's see. I'm actually just going to make this a single line now that I think about it. Sorry, just deleting some anchor points. Here we go.
All good. This is part of the process.
It sure is. I'm going to size it, and then I'm going to grab the pen tool and go ahead and like make this a complete shape that becomes like this little wave at the bottom of my graphic. And I'm going to go ahead over into my brand library here on the right side, and we are going to choose dark pink.
Oh.
And get rid of that stroke. Okay. I also want to create like a little like transparent moment. Let's send that to the back. Okay. I'm liking this. This will just be like a fun little border. You actually won't even see this if I post this reel on the feed. So this is just going to be like a fun little branded element that you'll see in the Reels tab on Instagram. Now I want to make sure that we have somewhere that we can put the title of this reel that we are.
So that's it. I guess it takes a few trials and error before you find where everything fits properly, because the grid changes so much, right? There's the main grid that's a square, then there's the real grid that's the full rectangle. So you need to play with that.
Exactly. Yeah. And something that helps a lot too is sometimes I'll like literally go in and like take a screenshot of like, here's what it is on the feed, here's what it is on the Reels page, and like bring those into Illustrator and like play around and make sure things line up. I've also done that for like Facebook cover photos and things like that, and make sure that like, okay, can you see this on mobile? Can you, because they're changing all the time. Like there's never, it's just never the same. So people often ask me like, how do you know what size to make social media graphics? I always will just Google what's the most up-to-date version for whatever you're trying to create, because it's truly always changing. So
I have a say for this, and like apologies if it's like easy, such a dad joke, but I say, when in doubt, just ask Dr. Google, because Dr. Google knows everything.
100%, always. So, okay. So I just created this box here because that's where I'm just going to put all of our text. So this is going to be, let's just pick one of my social media videos. Okay. How to, we are going to use, and I'm going to change this to all caps and center it and make it white. Okay.
Yeah, I've noticed that you're not using any black in your colors.
Yes, I almost never use black unless it's like for just text. And even then I'll often use, I have like a really dark maroon color, so I'll often just use that. But yeah, I am a big like colorful and then whites girly. So
it's funny you say this because you're wearing a black shirt today.
I know. That is so true. Would love for that to extend to my wardrobe. It currently does not. So maybe at some point.
Isn't that like the typical designer like stereotype?
Yes, truly. Oh my gosh, that's really funny. Let's see, we're gonna make this black. Also, actually, okay, right now what I did was I just like, there's two different options for when you're using the text tool. You can either click and type, or you can click and drag a text box. Changing my answer, I'm gonna make a text box for this because if I remember correctly, that makes it easier when you upload it into Express to make a template file. So
that is very good to know, because I think that as designers, we probably like the first option better because we can scale it easier. But good to know for what's about to come after in Adobe Express Beta.
Exactly. Get rid of that. Okay, I'm just gonna center, center these, make sure they're good to go. And then the other thing I'm going to do too is right now this is all grouped, but I'm also going to ungroup it because that helps bringing it into Express later too. So sometimes things get a little wonky in there if you don't do that. Okay, so that's going to be our first one. We'll have multiple color variations of that, but that'll come later. We're just doing 3 separate designs to have some variations in the feed while still like feeling really cohesive and consistent. So, all right. The next thing I want to do is create like a fun little wiggly line pattern situation. So we're going to do that same thing where I'm going to make a line, add a stroke to it so we can see it. And we are going to go to, I'm just gonna, well, yeah. If we just choose apply zigzag, it's gonna use the exact same like settings as our last one. So we'll go ahead and do that. Actually, I'm not doing that. I changed my answer. Let's tweak it. I kind of want maybe 5 and smaller. Yeah, okay, we'll do 25. Great, that's what I want. So go ahead and increase the weight. And again, let's go ahead and just outline this.
And you're keeping your background white specifically because that's where you will add your image later.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you for pointing that out because I forgot to mention that. But yes, it will not be white. It'll have an image. And that image will either be like, I'll just take a screen grab of part of my video from the reel, or I will pull in a photo, like one of my brand photos or something from my camera roll. Which honestly, let's go ahead and do that. I have some photos specifically for this one, especially because
look at this. So
look
cute.
at that. Here she is.
This model. Is awesome how the background matches your brand color too. I mean, yes. it was staged, but
sure was. Although kind of not, because we kind of just stumbled upon this like wall mural and we're like, perfect. So, okay, let's do, I think I want to do 4 of these maybe. Yeah, we'll do that. And I think I'm going to make these white.
I like that.
And then honestly, we're just going to leave that and pull a similar block here. Okay, we're going to have to change. There we go. But let's make this one a different color. We'll do that with orange. Okay, so that's a second one. You know what? For kicks and giggles, let's add a background to this one too.
If you have a background image as you're mocking them up at first in Illustrator, does it changes anything after in beta?
So it would probably be fine, but I would probably just delete them before I upload it into Express, just to make your life easier. You just never really know what's going to happen. This is not a great photo to choose, but we'll make it work. There she is.
Okay. It works.
It works. That'll do.
Yeah. You're too hard on yourself.
Yeah. So after this step, we're probably just going to separate all of these, and I'll show you why kind of later. But yeah, for now, just like design wise, so we can see how it's looking. We'll put some photos in, but after, when we make the templates, we'll take them out. Okay. And then last for reels, I want to just have one that is text only, just in case I don't have a good photo. I have like really ugly thumbnail screenshots from the video, whatever. So we need some options, you know what I mean? So I'm actually just going to take this bottom banner that I made for this graphic, copy it and paste it in place here. And what we're going to do instead is I'm actually going to make this the light pink, or the mid pink version. I'm going to change this to be just a shape for now. And we're going to make this the dark pink and send this to the back. Now I want to do something fun on this little guy where I want to use the type on a path tool.
Oh, cool.
And you know what? First, I'm going to delete this. I just want this to be a line. Hold on. Okay. Now it's just a line. Now we're going to use the type on a path tool. Okay. And to fix this, so right now it's upside down. We're going to hover over this middle line, and you see how it has like this little arrow that's pointing up. We can just pull that up, and then I'm going to drag this line. This is all using the direct selection tool, by the way. Okay, that's already to the side. And now I'm free to type on it. We're going to change this to probably just regular. And I think I want it to be all caps. And I want to have a few options for what this could say, but for now, we're just going to do, I talk about like freelancing, I talk about like online visibility, and I talk about learning graphic design. So we'll make this one say freelance over and over again. And let's make it, okay, 200. And of course, turn it white. Okay, so that's fun.
Super fun.
Now we will put that there. So now we have 3 different Reels graphics covers already. They look really cohesive. They have like, they're really easy to switch out text and switch out a photo, but they look really unique, and it's not necessarily something you're going to find like in a pre-made template library already. So these are Reels covers graphics. Now let's move on to some Instagram story templates. So I actually think I'm only going to make 2 of these, but what I really need for Instagram stories is some blank canvas type slides that I can then just like type natively from Instagram onto. I specifically am going to start doing like student spotlight series on my Instagram stories, where I show off one of my students' businesses and some of their work they're making and things like that. So I want it to be branded to my online course, and have it just be really generic so that I can put whatever I want on it, whether it's images or text inside of Instagram. So to do that, I'm going to start with just like a solid background. And for this, I want to make a gradient. I tend to make a lot of gradients in, oh shoot, I made a stroke gradient. That's not what I wanted. I tend to use a lot of gradients in my branding, just like pretty subtle ones. So, and with my design school branding, I use this dark maroon a lot. So we'll do that. And the bright magenta.
You mentioned a few things already that is interesting. So first of all, you said, I'm going to use this template specifically to feature students in my course. So you already have a plan ahead of time. You're not just designing templates to just design templates. You know exactly what the message will be, the purpose is exactly. So I think that for a lot of maybe new designers, this is a problem, because they want to go into the design right away because that's what's fun. Like, I mean, guilty.
Right. Yes.
But in order to have a better result, it's always good to, again, like you said, have a purpose and like plan accordingly. So then you can reuse it. It's cohesive with the message that you're trying to come across.
Exactly. Yes. Something I teach a lot is that you're not designing something because you need it to look pretty. You're designing something because it has a purpose of conveying some sort of message or information. So having a really good understanding of what the outcome of that graphic is going to be is instrumental in making sure that it's like an effective design for you or the client. So yes, so glad you pointed that out. I already definitely knew what I needed, what I've been missing in my social media needs. And that's what we're cranking out today. So kind of a perfect opportunity for me.
Hey, it's like kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So perfect.
Exactly. So we're gonna grab one of the like icon versions of my course logo so that it's like really well branded.
Cool. Looks like a seal. So cool.
Yes. It's supposed to be like university themed, yet also like anti-university, because you just don't have to go if you don't want to. So yeah, so this is going to be all we're doing for this first one. That way I can just type on it, I can throw some pictures on it, whatever I want, but it's branded. It's keeping with the theme from my feed with these like fun little wavy lines. It's clear that it's from my course because of the little seal that's up here. I'm actually going to make that even lighter. There we go.
Can we zoom back to see the full thing, like as you're designing them, so we can have the full picture of where this is good? Look at this.
Yes.
This is amazing.
Woohoo. And then I want to do one more for like design school features. So this one, I want to have a white background just so that it won't take away. If I want to like post somebody's photo or a picture of their work or whatever, it won't be competing with this background, but I do still want it to be branded somewhat to my program. So I am going to just put a little bottom banner down here. And then I think I'm going to put this little seal down here as well. This time we'll use this one in color. And let's go ahead and center that. Okay.
Oh, yeah. The align tools, like our best friend.
The best.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I might shrink that just a tad.
We have Rita saying here, this is so great. Can't wait to rewatch later.
Oh, hi, Rita. Thank you for joining us live, even if you can't make it to the whole thing.
This is what I love too. It's like you come for whatever you can.
Exactly.
You pause, you come back. It's always there. It's perfect. Best of both worlds.
That's right. Okay, so I just grabbed the same like type treatment from these like smaller words up here, but since it's going to be on a white background, we're going to make it the dark maroon color. I'm just going to put this up here. And I think that's all I'm going to do for this one. So it's really simple, but it's still branded. It's still calling back to, you know, what this post is going to be for, but I can do whatever I need to inside of Instagram. So, and the nice thing about these is that I actually won't even need to bring these into Express. I'm just going to export them out as JPEGs and save them to my phone. I can put them in a little like their own album on my phone, and then I can grab them anytime I need them on Instagram. So
love it.
Awesome.
Efficient
yes,
efficient way of to do this.
Exactly. So all right, now for static posts, kind of similar. I just need like some sort of branded something or other to share. I have like 1,010,000,000 screenshots of like testimonials or client wins or whatever that I would really like to showcase. And I just never do because I'm like, I can't just like post this random screenshot with absolutely nothing to go with it. Like that'll look silly. So I want to have an option to do that. So I think for this one too, we're just going to do 2 options. And like the Instagram story templates, I would like a dark version and a light version depending on what I'm sharing. So we are going to start with the dark version. I'm just going to make a full background again. And this time I'm going to snag this gradient and just edit the angle. And I am going to snag this seal again.
We have Alyssa saying here, Mariah, you make it look so easy.
I promise it gets so much easier with time and practice. Like the more hours you spend in this program, the more you can just do this with your eyes closed. So practice makes perfect, I promise. Okay, I'm gonna grab a one of the screenshots from one of my students and just slap it on here so that I have something to work with. That already looks so much better than if I were to just upload this as an image. Like that's not going to look good. But if I can have a screenshot from my student with like just a well-branded background that in the grand scheme of things, when it's among all of this, will look really nice and all put together. That's all I need. Just that. The fact that I have not done that until now feels silly, but you know what? Here we are. So, now the other thing I want to do is have a light version of this same thing, just because, well, for one, I have like the dark setting on my iPhone set up. So sometimes I don't have these nice white images, even because I forget to switch it. And sometimes I want to like showcase student work or something. So what I am going to do is I'm just going to copy this exact same thing, but for this background, we're going to edit it and we're going to change it to like the light pink gradient. So I'm going to double click on this dark maroon, choose the eyedropper tool, head to my libraries, and I'm going to choose mid pink and do the same thing and then light pink. Now, because you can't see this, I go ahead and just flip that bad boy around and probably up the opacity to maybe 30, 35. Nope.
40?
45. Oh, not 100. Definitely not 100. Okay, that's fine.
That works.
Yes. And then I have, all right. So again, so much nicer than if I were to just throw up a random screenshot. That would just really make my feed look like crap and not have as much context. So now with this, with the seal, it's creating some brand recognition. It's placing the testimonial to one of my offers that my audience might be interested in. And it's just going to make my feed look so much more cohesive because it'll be among all of these style of graphics. So
I love the screenshot idea too, because then you know it's real.
Yes, creating social proof or like showcasing social proof is huge. So the more that you can just save, it's also really great for just self-esteem when you're having a bad day. You can just go into your screenshot folder and be like, oh my gosh, I am making a difference in this world. So a hot tip for anytime you're feeling not so confident, just have a little like sunshine folder.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I should do that too. I mean, we should all do that.
Yes, it's really good because you forget sometimes and then you're like, oh yeah, okay, I am good at this. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. So
we are 30 minutes in our stream already.
Okay.
Gentle reminder to save your file.
Hot tip. Saving now. Save. We love that. Okay.
And we do have a question as well from Kimberly. I have my art brand, Painterly logo, and my comic Memphis design. Tips to make desperate aesthetics cohesive on my social media page. So there's two things going on. What would be your suggestion to help Kimberly?
She's saying she has a logo, but doesn't have like a cohesive look and feel on her feed. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. So I would kind of back to like in my intro where like establishing a really strong color palette that has like purpose behind it, as well as your fonts, whatever typography you're going to use within your brand to create an overall look and feel. I always recommend starting like write down 3 to 5 words that you want people to associate with you and your brand. And then what kind of brand elements, what kind of colors, what type of text, like will lend itself well to those words. So for me, I want to feel really approachable. I want my brand to feel fun and exciting, and like, because a big part of what I do is make people see that there's more possible for them. And I want it to feel just like really user friendly, which is why I'm using a lot of like clean, simple design, but like fun and inviting. I use a lot of like fun pictures. I don't take myself too seriously. I have like a literal picture of a cat on my homepage. But it's also really clean and easy to understand. So create a list of brand words, match those to a visual aesthetic, and then stick with that for everything you're creating. Do you think that answered that question?
Kimberly, do you have any follow-ups? If you do, I'll bring them back to Mariah.
Yes. Awesome. Okay. So finally, I also just want some sort of carousel post. One, because carousel posts do really well on the feed right now for the like Instagram algorithm. And also because sometimes I don't want to have to talk to like video to camera, but I want to share some thoughts or tips or tricks or ideas or whatever. So I want to have like a sliding carousel post that I can just like type some text onto and then throw it up on my feed. So again, we're going to keep it really clean and simple, but keep it the like overall look and feel really consistent and cohesive. So I'm going to grab this same wavy little guy and we are going to post it here, but I'm going to pull it down a lot further because I want to make sure we have lots of room here. So do that. And then what I like to consider with the carousel post is that as you're swiping, I like when the slides like
it goes like
intertwined. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm just gonna copy this, and so now it'll all flow together and it'll look really cute and fun to swipe, but it'll still be, really simple and clean. So I'm going to go ahead and just put a text box right here for whatever I'm going to want to share. I'm going to left align it, and I am going to change the type to just be Montserrat regular. I don't want it to be all caps because that is hard to read.
It's like screaming.
That's a lot.
Well. So we do have a follow-up from Kimberly.
Okay.
And saying, so basically she's saying, if I understand correctly, I have to find a way to overarch both, because there's the comics and there's the branding, art brand.
Sure. Yes, if possible. I mean, what I like to do is, because I do have like several different facets to my business, like I swear I make money in like 7 different ways. So it's kind of confusing to like even tell people what I do on the internet anymore. But what I like to do is having certain colors correspond with different offers can help, but they all still live under my main brand identity. So like for Ditch the Degree Design School, I use this dark maroon a lot, and then with like accents of the light pink. But I have a portfolio building course and I use all my oranges for that. So that can be a good way to like differentiate the two, but still have an overarching like umbrella of your brand identity and create that brand recognition among your audience.
So basically what you're saying is even maybe having sub brands too could be a good idea.
Exactly.
So you have your overarching brand that is you in a nutshell, right? You're promoting you, and then under your services, like you said, you have different colors depending on the offerings that you're offering, but it all ties in together. And we can kind of even see it now with the school, right? Even with that logo that you have, it has a tiny different feel than the rest of
Exactly.
your stories. Can we zoom out a little bit just so we can see again?
Yes.
But it's still very cohesive and it would work on a grid. So
yeah. And I mean, like even my design school logo is like vastly different than my personal brand logo. But because I'm using the rest of my like brand colors and fonts and stuff within that identity as well, like it all really ties itself together really nicely. In my portfolio program, like I use a lot of these like wavy lines and stuff like that, but in like a far more drastic way. It's like kind of giving 70s vibes, but I'm using all my oranges and all of my brand fonts still, and that logo looks really different. So there is a way to do it as long as you're keeping pieces of your overarching visual identity for your sub brands. Then you can kind of go off and create their own look and feel for each sub brand. Does that make sense?
It does to me, and I think it did
Amazing.
to Kimberly, because these different colors sounds such like a cool idea. So
awesome.
Great. There you go.
We love that. Okay. Okay, so for this carousel post, I'm just putting like a little text box. I'm keeping the lorem ipsum text for now, just to have a placeholder for where I would type any of my thoughts and ramblings. But I want to make sure it's clear that this needs to be swiped. So we're going to add a little swipe text, and we're going to just grab this font again. Oopsies. Plop it here, make it a little smaller, and then I'm going to make like a little arrow with the pen tool. I'm just going to make a little triangle and add a line, turn it, and then increase the font size. I'm also going to make the cap be rounded because that just fits better with my brand, and I'm just going to tweak it a little bit. I think I'm also going to put it in.
Oh, that's cute. That's a good idea. Almost looks like a button.
Exactly. And I find that if that, like, there's not like a little reminder of like, oh, there's more, people might not notice that they're supposed to swipe. So we'll put this on this one and this one, but not this one because it will be the last one. Oftentimes this last slide will be some sort of call to action of like, go watch my free workshop or send me a DM to learn more or whatever.
Do you put save with the like bookmark sometimes?
I haven't, but that is a really good idea, and we'll do that. Nice. Love that plan. And then the last thing I want to do is just add like my handle here so that when it shows up on people's feed. And I think I'm going to put my little like Instagram thumbnail too. So I believe I have that. Yes, here's my Instagram headshot. We're going to shrink her down real small and me in a little circle.
That's cute. So then your face is always there too.
Yes, that just adds to that like brand recognition.
Smart.
A little.
While you do this, we have Anthony here saying, cool branding colors.
Thanks. I actually picked these from, there was this like really fun photo of like a bunch of like citrus fruits and stuff like that. And I loved it. And I used that to just like pull exact colors from and kind of tweaked it from there. But that's where they came from. Fun fact.
That is fun. Are you attracted to citrus scent as well? Like if you had to put a scent to your brand?
I suppose if I put a scent to my brand, yes, but in my actual life, no. So that doesn't make any sense.
Interesting.
I mean, I do love lemon flavored everything,
Mm.
but okay, I need to just fully change this. But like it's not my favorite scent. I'm like a lavender or vanilla girl.
Like floral then.
Uh-huh. Or like really manly scents. I really like those too. Where it's
Yeah, me too, actually.
like musky and yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go. Okay. I just still really need this to not be all caps. Oh, caps lock is on. That's why.
There you go. We figured it out.
Look at that.
Happens to the best of us.
Oh, that's funny. Okay. Let's stick that there. Yeah. Okay, great. So now I have just like a little more brand recognition here. You know what? I'm going to make this a little thicker because it's kind of hard to read at that size. Semi-bold. Yep, that's the move. Okay. And then I'll just put that on all 3 posts. That's all there is to it for the carousel post. So and the reason we like set up these artboards the way we did is so that I can see what it'll look like all together, but can still save out individual elements from the actual artboard. So with that being said, we're going to start turning these into files that can be easily added to Adobe Express. So let's start just with our reel covers. I've actually, you know what, we will do a couple of these. I think I have like 6 variations I can do for this. So I'm going to create a new file and I'm
Also,
going to
save this.
Thank you.
No problem. It did happen to me on a live once. That's why everything like I forgot to save and everything was not there anymore.
No. What did you do?
So thankfully it was at the very end of the stream.
That's good.
And I was just like, oh, and that was back when there was 2 days. I'm like, I'll have everything done for tomorrow. So after everything ended, I just Command Z everything to find. Then I was able to, save
what a
my
nightmare.
Yeah, it was. I did it. It's. And it was my first time being on Adobe Live too. So you could see at the end. But it's okay.
No.
It's okay. Like situation averted.
Yes. Oh my gosh. It's in the past. It's fine.
That's it. That's why now I'm like, Command save. Like
yes. Thank you for the reminders because clearly I don't do that often.
Well, it's just you're streaming. Like usually you think about like you probably do it without noticing, right?
That's like true. That's true.
Because you're on Adobe Live, there's so much stuff that you need to be doing and
going on.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh. That's funny. Okay. So for this portion of the process, I just created a new document, got rid of any of the background photos, and then I just made a bunch of color variations. This is absolutely something you can do inside of Express instead, but because I live inside of Illustrator, it takes me no time at all to do something like this. So I like to do as much as humanly possible in Illustrator, because you can just do way more custom things, and B, it's just faster if that's the program that you're like good at. So I'm gonna save this and I'm gonna just call it Reels Bottom Wave. And you can just save it as an Illustrator file because you can now upload Illustrator files into Express, which is amazing. Yeah, game changing.
Game changer, yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and do that a few more times for these bad boys.
How are you copy pasting everything in place
Thank
so
you
know
asking.
that, yeah.
Yes. So if you have your artboard selected that you're copying from, you can Command C. And then if you have the next artboard that you're placing it on, you can hit Command F and it's going to paste it in place. And you can know that your artboard's selected a few ways. The easiest way is just to see like this one has a black outline around it. So that's the one that's selected. The rest of them are gray around it. So you can kind of see all four here. Like this one's selected because it has this black line. And the other way too is in the artboards panel, which if you don't have that, you can go to Window, Artboards. Mine's checked, so it's up. You can see which artboard we're on. So if we wanted to jump to artboard 3, okay, that's this one. So I'm just Command F over and over again. Makes your life so much easier. Another reason why I would just do this in Illustrator instead of Express, because it just has a lot more of these features for more
control.
Exactly. So and then again, I'm just going to go in and make some color variation. Let's see. Do I want? Yeah, we'll do that. And then we'll save this. And then we would just do that again. But I already have that done. I want to make sure we get inside of Express and show you how to actually get these set up. So, what do we want to call this one?
Text wave.
Waves. There we go. Okay. Now, let me bring Express into the picture. So you'll know you're using the beta version of Express, A, if it says beta here, and B, you can just go to new.express.adobe.com. So highly recommend. It's the new features are just so good. So to get started, instead of choosing like, okay, we're making an Instagram story or whatever like that, we're actually just going to start from scratch by clicking this button right here. And what we can do now is choose our file. And it's going to be converting like this for a hot minute. And then we'll be able to literally open it in Editor. Now, I will say it's not always perfect, so it's going to take some tweaking often. Well, actually, this is pretty dang perfect. So you'll see here, we can literally like go in, edit this text in Express. It's already here. We didn't have to create anything new. Same with this. It's using our same fonts. It's using the same sizes. It's using our brand colors that we already have set up, which is amazing. So, and then we'll hit next. Okay, so now you'll see this got a little wonky. So sometimes it just takes like a little bit of tweaking. But honestly, I think what I'm just going to do is copy from here, Command C. I'm just going to delete that. And
there you go.
So fixed. Now let's see. Okay, so and see this one did it just fine.
Maybe it was grouped from the...
Might have been. And you'll see too, what's really nice is like even this is an editable shape. So like we can change the fill color from in here if we want.
This is amazing.
It's so nice. So you can literally take these So like even this, like the wave vector shape that we made, we can change this. Like it's all editable. This one is not, because it is a transparent version of that. So there are some like stipulations around it. It's not a perfect solution necessarily. But something else that I do recommend that can be really helpful too is if you don't necessarily want to bring them all in as an Illustrator file, the other thing you can do is in Express Beta, you can also access all of your brand libraries as well. So I'm going to go in here and you'll see all my colors are in here already. And then what I also did is I saved all of these as individual assets in my library as well. So I'm going to show you how to do that in just a second, but that's another option. If you're like this, I don't want this, you can go ahead and like place this instead from your library, and it's going to do the same thing. So there are a lot of options here. It just makes your life so much easier. So
I'm just thinking for a client that doesn't have Illustrator or doesn't any of the even design skills, right? Like you set them up with this and their lives are eternally changed.
Exactly. So you can give them an entire brand library that has all of these extra assets in it. Like you'll see, I even have like some gradients that I've saved in here already. Like so many things that are just done for them that they can put together themselves or use however they see fit or need to. And that way, either them or their team member, like if you have a social media manager, there's like a really good chance they're not a designer because those are different skills. So having really well custom branded templates that are not just like from the library that everyone's using, but like giving that social media manager like a whole suite of graphics and brand elements and colors and typography that they can choose from with templates, game changing. So
we have Water here saying that was an Illustrator file. Wow.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So this was like the main thing that I felt like Express was missing, and they added it, and I'm so happy about it. So makes our lives so much easier, especially to help our clients.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So if we wanted to then like actually turn these into posts, well, for one, what you would do now that we've created this, we can go ahead and save this as like IG Reel template 1. Now it will be in our Express library, but what I also recommend is, how do we add this as a template? I forget. Hold on. Share. Well, for one, you can invite collaborators. So you can actually like share this with your client, which is really nice. You just email them and then they can have it. But we can also save it to our templates. And that's escaping me right now, but I will find it. But if you go to, oh, here we go. No, sorry. We're going to go to our library and go to, sorry, our stuff, brands. You'll see our files are right here that we just used. Okay, here we go. Why is this not working? Okay, we're coming back to this.
It's because you're live.
I know. We'll come back to it, but this is where you'll find all of these things. Now we're going to go ahead and use this, and I'll show you how to actually like add a photo to it. So anytime like I'm going to need a graphic, I'm just going to add a photo, which I will do by going to media, upload from my device, and I'm just going to snag. We'll choose this one again. She seems to be a crowd favorite.
Have a great question here from GO2 Marketing Media asking if we can add a PSD Photoshop file in beta.
Yes. So it works for PDFs, Illustrator files, and Photoshop files. So yes, I've not played around with the Photoshop situation, but I'm 99% sure it works the exact same. So yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So I've gone ahead and added a photo here. You can size it to whatever you need. I've sent it to the back. I can change this to whatever I want it to be. And then I can just either download this graphic and I will just put it in my Google Drive folder. And then I have access to that on my phone. Or if this was just a like a static post, like this is going to just be a cover for one of my reels, so I have to do that on my phone. But if this was going to be a static post, I could go ahead and literally schedule this inside of Express, and Instagram's connected to my Express account. I can add my caption, I can pick when I'm scheduling it, and can have it go out whatever time I want. So that's really helpful too.
Can you show again how you brought that image to the background?
You got it. So I'm just going to undo it. So I've resized it to whatever size I want it to be. And then all you have to do is go to this little icon, choose order, and we're going to move to back. So the other fun thing that you can play around with in Express too is they have lots of like fun effects that you can play with. So like I can change it to, you know, whatever color I want.
You can also play with the, for the, like bringing your image back, if you want to play with the layers, if you go to the corner on your right where you see 6, if you click on your, sorry, go back.
Sorry.
If you click on your design itself, or sorry, click on your canvas.
Oh,
see how
I see what you're talking about.
So if you click on this is all of your layers too. Like if your mindset is more like Photoshop or even Illustrator, and you work with layers that way, you can also see your layers like that.
Exactly. Yes. So we can like switch these around like this if you want. So yeah, there are a lot of ways to just kind of do the same thing, which is great. The other thing you can do too is if you can't really resize it if you do this, but what you can do is you can actually like change, let's see, if this was like on top, you can make this, okay, why is this not giving me the same things that usually it does? There's usually an option where it's like, change this to your background photo, but that's like not here right now. Oh, here we are. Yes, it is. So that's another thing that you can do too, is like just make a image like your full background. The issue is you can't really, oh no, you can crop it. I've never done that before. So now it's my background.
Hey, we're learning. This is very new as well, right? So
this just came out like a month ago, I think.
That's it. So I mean, it's really cool that you are teaching us today.
Yes, it's been really nice to have. So okay, so we have our Instagram Reels covers loaded inside of Express. Now I want to show you like how you can add all of these things in here too. Well, you know what? Let's add this one, because I have a bunch of variations of this already saved. So let's start with this, and then I'll show you how I saved out those individual assets and how we can change them out inside of our templates.
Perfect.
So we're gonna
we still have 25 minutes, so you're good.
Amazing. We're gonna go back, start this all over again, hit get started. Let's go back to here, and we're gonna choose this file, hit converting it to Express now. Open in editor. Awesome. Okay, so again, here's 4 different color variations. Not always perfect. You got to tweak it a little. Let's center that.
Oh, what a great question to ask. Is the market too saturated? Ooh.
Okay, so we have 4 different color variations of this. The text looks good. Well, no, this isn't centered either. So I do just like to go in and double check that everything converted perfectly, because it doesn't always convert perfectly. And you do kind of learn with time of like, oh, okay, I did need to ungroup that or whatever. This, I don't know why that happened. Just beta problems. So this has different spacing than the other one. So we're just going to go in and copy that over and paste it into this design. So now we have 4 different options. I can easily switch out the text. It's saved. We're going to go ahead and change the document into here. That's IG Reels text only. So now I'll always have that inside my folders. Now with this like wave and then text situation, if I was, let's change this to one of my other options. Let's see. Well, I did just do this, like unboxing my new MacBook Pro. Unboxing. MacBook Pro. Okay. So that's not really freelance related. I would say it's probably, well, it's not really any type of related, but we'll say it's going to be graphic design. So right now this says freelance over and over again, but if I wanted to say graphic design, what I can do is I can go in here. I'm just going to copy and paste this out into the outside the artboards. Dynamic design. Okay, that's probably as many times as we can do it. And I'm going to go ahead and outline the text just so that it's not a type on a path situation. That also gets a little wonky in Express. So I'm going to go to type, create outlines, and then I'm going to go into my libraries. I'm going to have this selected in my Althoff brand library. You can go down to this plus sign down in the bottom right corner and choose add elements. And I'm just going to choose graphic. So now we have this down here. And what I can do is I can rename it as graphic design wave text. Now, when I go into Express, I might need to, we'll refresh it just to make sure that that came in. And we'll go into your stuff, which is where I can find all my assets. These are the ones I already did, but the new one that I just made is right here that I can pop in. This wave might be slightly different than, it's not going to match exactly because
but that's okay.
The original design was from one I made prior. So that yes, exactly. But now we have this new wave that would, in theory, match the original wave we put here, so that you can switch it out to whatever you want. So instead, here, let me grab my pre-made ones. So this is currently
the designer struggle. Exactly. I'm going to show you how it is, but it's not perfect.
But
so
it's not
hold
on. Okay, let's do, here we go.
There you go.
This was my pre-made version. So what you can do is just stretch it so that it matches perfectly.
Lovely.
So now I have all these assets. I also have like one that says get clients that can go on my ones where I'm talking about how to be seen online and find your clients or have your clients find you. Graphic design, like I have a bunch of different ones. I've also done the same with this wave pattern that we made in Illustrator. I pulled this in so that I can pop that anywhere I want it to be. And I've done the same with all these little waves as well as the gradients. So not only am I creating a bunch of templates in Express, but I'm also creating a bunch of individual assets in Express. So, yeah, great. So we made these 2 templates. Now, these 2 graphics, we don't need to bring into Express because I'm just going to use them individually. So let's go ahead and just save those out as JPEG files. A really easy way to do this is figure out, okay, this is artboard 4, 5, 6, and 7. So I'm just going to go to File, Export, Export As. I'm going to say like IG templates, choose Use Artboards, and for the range, what did I say? 4 through 7? 4 through 7. And they can be PNG, they can be JPEG, whatever you want. And we will export them. 72 pixels per inch is perfect. Click OK. And now we have them as images that I can then pull into Instagram and use whenever I need to. Perfect. So those are done. So now we have 2 of our reel templates set up. We have these 4 graphics done and ready to go. Now let's set up a carousel post inside of Express. We can either save this as an Illustrator file and then upload it like we've been doing, or we can do sort of what I had done just a little minute ago, is like add individual elements to our library and kind of recreate it and rebuild it inside of Express. Since you've seen the like upload Illustrator file way so many times, let's just rebuild this inside of Express. The first thing I'm going to do is save these little waves as an individual asset. But first, this is hanging off the artboard. I want to make sure that we're just saving the part that's on the artboard. So there's several ways we could do this. I'm going to use the Pathfinder tool. That tends to be my go-to, where I'm just creating a rectangle over top of everything I want to cut off. And I'm selecting the wave underneath it. And I'm choosing this minus front option. And so now we just have this graphic. So what we can do now is, again, go back to our libraries, choose this plus button and choose graphic. And I'm going to say carousel wave. The other thing I want to do is I think I probably just want to save this whole thing together. That way I don't have to retype any of that out. We'll see how that goes. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna group it, and then I'm just going to choose add elements, choose add graphic, and we're gonna put like IG, pick, and handle. Okay. And then we're gonna do the same thing with the swipe graphic. So I'm gonna group it.
You didn't vectorize your text for those. Would you do that regularly?
Yeah, that's like a good question. Maybe to be safe, I probably should outline the stroke and outline the text and probably even outline the stroke of this arrow. It might be fine. Sometimes it's a lot of trial and error, but yeah, that's a solid point. We'll try that.
And while you do that, we have Kiona Art saying, this is so helpful. I'm working on my social right now, so this is great for ideas.
Oh, I'm so glad. Okay, amazing. So honestly, the wave, the swipe, and my little image, which since we didn't outline that text, let's go ahead and delete this one by selecting it and just hitting this trash can. Let's create outlines. I don't know why I haven't like learned the shortcut for create outlines yet, because I use it daily.
I can tell you. It
Shift Command O, right?
Correct. Yes.
I just never use it ever. Why? I don't know.
Hey, it's fine. Like you can do everything without the shortcuts.
That's true. Exactly. Yeah. What's your go-to shortcut?
That would be one of them. I mean, the save, obviously.
Sure.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And that's pretty much that, actually.
Oh, that's awesome.
for like the outlines, because I'm a brand designer, so
yes,
like whenever I'm doing logos, yes, like,
that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so to make this carousel post, we're gonna hit this plus sign, and we are going to choose Instagram square post. And I'm just gonna recreate what we already made using the brand elements that we just saved. So I'm gonna plop this down in here. We are going to stretch it along the bottom. Pop this guy in here. Shrink her down. And then pop this wipe icon in here. Stick her right there. Okay, so now we just need to add a text box, which we're just going to choose by add your text. And we're just going to grab my brand font. And I'm going to change it to my dark pink color. And then I think what we were doing was medium. Yes. Okay. So I'm just going to put this in the center. Yes.
I was going to say, I think you had it justified to the left too.
You're right. I did. I'm also just going to copy the lorem ipsum so that we have like a lot more text to work with.
There you go.
Perfect.
What's your take on centered text?
My take is it's often, if it's only like 1 or 2 lines of text, then great, center it if you want. But if it's more than that, it's so much easier to read if it's left justified. And again, we are all about creating graphics that convey information easily and effectively. Oopsies, that's not what I wanted to do. So I like left justified if it's more than a single line of text.
Yeah.
What about you? Yeah.
Same thing. I'm also I hate orphans, and right now you have one.
I know. I was thinking that too, but I also really want it to be that many lines. There we go. That's better.
Yeah, there you go. You got it.
But same.
Ski slopes too. Like whenever there's too much like space in between the big paragraph, I tend to like
tweak it. Yes, agreed. Okay, so what I did was I just added 2 more slides, and now I'm just gonna copy all of this by highlighting it all and then paste. And in Express, you don't have to do paste in place. It'll just automatically paste it in place. And we'll do that one more here, but we'll get rid of the swipe.
Chef kiss.
So woohoo. So that is how we would set up our carousel post. I'll add that here. And now we have pretty much all of our templates loaded in, except for one, which I can absolutely go through unless people have like other questions or things they want to see me do in these last few minutes.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we have time. If it's done quickly, just kind of a quick recap of everything, that would be great.
Amazing. All right. So last but not least, we'll set up this reel design, which with the like white waves underneath.
Oh, perfect.
Click open. It's converting, doing its magic. We love her. We can't wait to open an editor. Okay. So again, we're going to have to do some tweaking. It's not perfect. Here we go. Make sure this is all centered. Okay, great. But you'll see our white waves are here. So let's go ahead and add a photo so we can actually see all of that, which we will do by going to media and uploading from your device. This folder is getting a little crowded. Let's see, we'll use this guy. This will be a good one. And you know what? We'll set as page background now that we've learned that we can, in fact, resize from here.
Also, like how you're framing your text, right? Like even though it's already framed with the shape, but you're
Mm-hmm.
also framing it another time and even directing the person who's going to view this on a phone, right? Because even your
Mm-hmm.
eyes are pointing down to where the text is.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yes, we love like some visual hierarchy where the photo is even drawing your attention to what actually
attention, yeah.
matters. Yes,
Directing you on how you should read this.
exactly. Yes, I love when that works out. So yeah, well, I guess what we'll do, since we tweaked this one, just copy it from here because this one got a little wonky too. And again, we can add another photo. This one
So
will probably, oh wait.
I just want to say to everyone who is watching with us right now, you can go to Behance and actually nominate either yourself or someone else if you hit the guest recommendation to be on Adobe Live. Who would you like to see? Maybe you'd like to see yourself. It's always a fun time to stream your working process.
That's awesome. I didn't know people could nominate people.
Yes.
Love it. All right. So now we're going to have all of these pretty well
Oh,
done.
I like that. I like the overview shot. It's cool how I can recognize you in that shot just based on your jeans.
Yeah, I have a pretty well go-to like wardrobe, as you can see. So not a lot of straying from.
It's great. It's part of your brand.
That's right.
Yeah, it's like with the ripped jeans, like again, that casual, like not taking yourself too seriously with a business suit.
Yes.
It works.
Yes, I'm all about I don't own a suit, so it's like who's gonna think that that's something that I have in my closet? No one's gonna believe that. So
I would see you with like a really funky suit, like a maybe
like
crazy,
a bright pink one or something.
Yeah, citrusy color, or like even big bold pattern or something.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
That's
Waves.
So true. I would do that. You're right. Okay, so yeah, we have this all set up now too. Oh, I'm gonna name this IG Real.
Look at this.
Waves. So now if we head to our library, you'll see all of my stuff here. And you'll see we have the carousel posts, the text only, the Instagram Reels template 1, the white waves, all of it is in here. So actually, love that this is where we're coming to, because I even mocked this up. Oh no, that was the beginning. Here, hold on. Here's where we will have ended with all of these templates, this like way more nicely cohesive feed. So we started here and we've ended here, and it just looks so much nicer. We love it. We can find things easier. New people who come to my page can like go through my reels and actually know what is what and can choose what they are interested in. And it just looks so much cleaner and more well-branded, which is probably really important since I, focus on graphic design. So
that's what I was going to say. Your audience is graphic designers mostly, so you need to create visuals that are tailored to them.
Exactly. So, yes. Yeah.
This is looking so good. This was such an amazing stream. Thank you so much.
I'm so glad. You are so welcome. I hope you guys are all going to start using Express, because it really does change the game, and it's really helpful for your clients specifically to just make their brand more accessible. So I really love that you're able to create really custom graphics and brand elements and like a full brand identity, but then make it accessible for your clients or even just yourself. Like it's going to be so nice that I can just pop in Express now and type in some words and export it and call it a day. Yes, like I don't have to open and have like 40 artboards in my Illustrator file and then make sure I'm exporting the right one. Like I can just go in and do the thing. So it even makes our lives easier as designers.
Exactly. It's like express tidiness.
Yes. Yes. So
Mariah, where can we find you? We're wrapping up right now. Yeah.
Yes. So you can find me on my website, mariahalthoff.com, or I would love if you guys went to my Instagram and followed me there, sent me a DM and let me know that you watched this live. I really, truly love chatting with people who are on my pages and like getting to know you guys for real. So please send me a DM and just say hello and let me know what you enjoyed about this live stream. I'm also on TikTok. That is where like my larger following is. Same username, Mariah_Althoff. And yeah.
Perfect. The chat moderators will be adding your links into the chat. So great. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. It's always a blessing to be here. Stay tuned to join Lucas O'Keefe to learn how to create content for a fictional brand and how different businesses can create social media asset using Adobe Express. The continuation of this is perfect.
That is
Thank
perfect.
you so much. Bye, everyone.
Bye.